pleased to have a filmmaker on from Hartford, Connecticut, Rashad Frett. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So as I normally do, I love to pick apart people's lives and find out what they're all about. You grew up off Albany Avenue in Hartford. Your folks are from the Virgin Islands.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
And you also served as a medic in the Army for 6 years.
That's correct. 91 Bravo, combat medic.
What did you do in that time that you were a medic?
I did a lot of a lot of blood work, a lot of I was attached to an ambulance unit, so we did a lot of ambulatory things, just like what civilian ambulances, the work they do. Seen a lot of groups and stuff.
Well, you were stationed, was it in Texas?
Yeah, I was in Texas, and then I actually came back to Connecticut. I was stationed in a unit in Connecticut right before 9/11 happened.
So we should say thank you for serving our country,
Thank you.
just straight off.
Thank you.
9/11 changed your life. How?
I was a young kid, 20 years old, and when I saw it, when my unit got activated. And
how did you get the call? You're in Texas, and someone says, this just happened, 2 planes went into the World Trade Center and you guys are going?
Yeah. Actually, I came back to Connecticut right before, but they called us. It was like, report to the unit. Went to the unit, and we just went straight out there. We actually flew out there in a helicopter. So we actually flew into the city, and it was real. Everything, like when I actually seen it, it was like slow motion. It was unreal to me. How
soon did you guys fly in after the planes hit the building?
I want to say
that same day.
Yeah, it was the same day. Yeah, yep. It was a 1-day deployment. The same day, like 4 hours later.
What did you see from the air?
The smoke that blanketed the city. That was like the main thing that I saw. And we were just, a lot of people on the plane were just like, we were just quiet, just watching, and it was just, we'd hear the propellers. All I heard was the propellers swinging and the smoke,
So was it at this point that you wanted to be a storyteller, to tell your story with pictures, to be a filmmaker? Did that something go off in your head saying, I want to do this?
Yeah. I felt the
You were compelled to tell the stories of people?
Yeah, of everything that was going on at that moment. It was more so like, why would someone want to put this much force in, hurting people, hurting others? And I was like, I want to do something, it was more so like a thought, like I want to contribute to do something about it from my end. I'm like, I'm not a politician. What's another way that I can, attack this issue? And I thought about, storytelling, and I was like, you know what? I want to portray. I want to, do it more towards the media, because the media is very powerful. And I was thinking about that because I was definitely heavily influenced by media. So I was like, I want to contribute to it.
Now, growing up on Albany Avenue, was it actually Albany Avenue?
Yep, yeah, right off Albany Avenue.
All right, so tough area?
Oh yeah.
What'd you see as a kid there?
I seen any and everything. Back in the in the 80s and 90s, Hartford, much as well as other parts of Connecticut, was a lot more. It was a lot more dangerous. It was a lot more gangs. They were more prevalent at that time, more open with it. You couldn't wear certain colors on the side of the city. A friend of mine, he actually got shot for wearing the wrong colors. He survived, luckily, but I mean, that was like an everyday thing.
So you saw drugs, gun violence, kids handling guns.
Yeah, I seen.
You were able to stay out of it because your folks somehow kept you away from that? How'd they do that?
My mother was very strict. I mean, there was always a fascination, but you know, then I remember I have to go home and face my mother, you know, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let her down. I'm not even gonna try to go down that road.
So you saw a lot on Albany Avenue. You saw a lot on 9/11. You picked up a camera when and started doing your thing.
I dabbled with the camera over the years. I did a little stuff, and I took a couple years off school, and when I got back, something was like, you know what, I really want to tell stories, and I really want to, you know, help people, you know, and or influence people.
With your art.
With my art, you know, so I changed my major because I had got a business major at, you know, because I had a bunch of people telling me prior, what kind of job can you get with that? And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with my gut. Stuck with my gut, switched to communications with film, and that's when I met my mentor, Jeff Tytler. And
what did he teach you?
He taught me, he saw something in me. That he always tells me, you know, and he took it and he just just grabbed it and he just went with it. You know, he was.
You're in what school?
Back then, Central Connecticut State University.
Central Connecticut State University. Now, somewhere along the line, you just got into the Tisch School at NYU.
Yes.
An elite filmmaking school at age 35.
Yes.
So you're about to set the world on fire.
Yes.
So you've done some PSAs. You did something called Second District.
Yes.
Is it a full length? How long is Second District?
The Second District is actually a TV pilot. It was, believe it or not, a 20-minute pilot. And the creator of the show, who's a Hartford police officer, it was a Hartford police officer and a criminal that came together to write the show. And Jeff Tytler, through Jeff Tytler, I met them. Well, I didn't meet the criminal because he was out there, but I met the cop. And then we, you know, talked about it, and I pulled in like a lot of my friends who are in the film world.
And made the film.
Yep.
Let's take a look at a minute of Second District.
Okay.
Unit 252, respond to shots fired at Greenfield and Martha.
Tell me why.
The streets done changed.
You see anything?
The Second District, the most dangerous area in Hartford. If you're assigned to this district, you will be challenged. In Hartford, there's no way me and these thugs can exist in the same place.
From Bridgeport to the beat, we hold court in the street.
Where are coming from? 252. Shots fired at officers at 456 Enfield Street. The way I see it, there's only me. And I'm the reason the city beats.
Did this help you get into the Tisch School?
Yes, I definitely put it on my reel, definitely, as well as other projects that I've worked on, absolutely.
What is Second District? You know, you told us a little bit about what it's about. How did you pull all the people together, and how did you shoot this? And what did you do? Did you do everything on this?
No, with this, I just, believe it or not, which I'm not used to, I actually was just the director. Normally,
Just the director.
Yeah, just normally I'm so used to being director, DP, or cinematographer, editor, you know, but what I did, I pulled like a good friend of mine, Pierre Coleman. He's from Newark, New Jersey. He produces a lot of my projects, so I pulled him in because we were working on a project prior. Pulled him in, and we just, Mark came to us, Mark Manson, the Hartford cop, came to us. He said what he wanted to do, read the script, and it's based off a lot of stuff that actually happened. A lot of stories that he's seen go on, but it's, you know, kind of, you know, a little different.
What's happening with this now? Is it just sort of laying out their Second District, or do you hope it's going to go somewhere?
Yeah, eventually down the line, we actually had a lot of talks, because that happened roughly around 5 years ago. A lot of contracts were signed. I didn't have any decisions with that contract. So right now, I think it's currently shelved due to, you know, the contracts. But
Right.
But we're in hopes that it'll revive in the future.
So you're about to head into Tisch, and you're going to have teachers like Spike Lee
Yes.
and folks like this. Martin Scorsese has had time there as well.
Yes.
What are your hopes as you go into this school and start producing films?
My hopes is that with you know, speaking with them, you know, they're gonna allow me to have a platform, because my ultimate goal is to have a platform to have portray projects and films pertaining to, you know, social issues, societal issues that, you know, that I want to address, in hopes of, changing the world. Changing the world.
I like
that's
that.
the ultimate. Yep.
So when we look back and we talk about Rashad Frett, what are you going to be known for down the road? What kind of movies do you think?
Rashad Frett is going to be known for films that make you think, make you think twice before you make any irrational decisions, if you go down that road. Rashad Frett is going to be known to have a positive influence on the community, because that's the ultimate goal. That's what I want to do.
And what you've seen in your life, Ground Zero, Albany Avenue, all this is leading to you saying something to America about think first.
Yes, absolutely. That's like the main thing, like, because, yeah.
What would your
I've
next
seen
movie
that.
be? If I had to ask you right now, what's swimming around in your head about what's going on in America right now?
What I want to talk about right now, personally, I know it's a lot of, with the police and civilian conflict. I was luckily, at one point, I was on one side of the fence where I kind of looked at, officers. I was kind of nervous, even though I was in the military. However, meeting a Hartford cop and meeting cops and just realizing that, they're regular people. It's just a job. I want to kind of create films that bridge that gap, that people are like, some people.
We're all
don't know.
people, and we all want to go home to our families at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Rashad Frett, we are so proud that you're going to be from Connecticut making these awesome films.
Thank you.
We wish you so much luck, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I
You bet.
appreciate it. Thank you.